1000 kilogram per hour, calculating the value of F2 and the composition of F2. So this is exactly we're given this figure. So this was given to the question. We can see 1000 that I put there. So we're given the steam composition of benzene, toluene, and xylene. So this X is mean for xylene, this T is stand for toluene, and this P is for benzene. Now the question is to find this flow rate. So we have to find the flow rate of F2 to find this composition of that one, of toluene, benzene, and xylene. And then so we have to find also P1 and P2 and P3 because we don't know them. So now what you guys should we do? The first thing you will do when you're gonna when you have a question like this, what you will do is what? Let me just take one paper. Okay, so what basically you will do is what? From the question, we know we can do what they call the overall material balance. So overall material balance. So what you will do, you have how many units? You have 2 units. This is unit 1 and then this is unit 2. So let's do the for the unit 1. So for the unit 1 we have F1, this F1 is going in, but P1 is going out and F2 is also going out. So it's going to be P1 plus F2. So this is the only for unit what? Unit 1. So we can call this equation 1. And then also let's do the ohming material balance for unit 2. So in unit 2 we can see like this is still F1. Now in this side is going in. But we know like this is going out and then this also is going out. So it means F2 is P2 plus P3. So we can call this equation 2. So now guys, we have equation 1 and equation 2. Now what will be the material balance, the ohming material balance of the whole process from unit 1 to unit 2? So we will do this equation is going to be F1 equal to P1 plus, what is F2? F2 is already P2 plus P3. So this is the equation we're going to use, and then this is equation 3. So this is the equation we're going to use. So everything we will do so on, it's going to be based on this formula. So we just do the material balance of this. So now let's do the material balance, mass balance of benzene. And then benzene is what? Is B. So this is benzene. So now what should we do? I'm just going to write the formula. The formula, we're going to still follow this one. So in this steam one, so we have benzene. So the formula is now X of B for benzene in F1, we're going to times by F1. This is exactly from this formula. And then they say P1. So we need to have X for benzene in P1 times P1 plus. So we have to have another X for benzene in P2 times P2. And then we have to have X for benzene for P3 times P3. So now guys, check. What should we do now is what? From this equation here, this equation 3, if you know, we know already F1 is what? Is 10,000. So this equation can also be simplified by 10,000, which is P1 plus P2 plus P3. So we have this is still equation 3. We just put the value of F1. So now let's see what is the value of this one. The value of this one is 0.4. So we're gonna have 0.4 times 1000 equal to X for benzene in P1. Benzene is 0.9 times P1. We don't know the value. So plus x2, we are x2 for benzene is there, is 0.05 P2 plus here we check if we have benzene, we don't have benzene. And guys, why benzene? And if they ask you what is the composition of benzene in this P3, the answer you just gonna say is 0. Why 0? Because you already add this 0.1 plus 0.9 is 1. So the composition cannot go more than 1. So then even you check 0.4 plus 0.4 plus 0.2 is 1. 0.95 plus 0.05 is 1. 0.1, so it might be only 1. So since EH already 1 and we were not given for benzene, so you're going to have 0 times P3. So we can arrange this equation. So we're going to have 0.4 times 1000. We're just going to have 400 equal to 0.99 P1. And then we're going to have plus 0.05 P2. And then this 0 times P3 is gone. So this equation we call equation 4. So now we can also do the mass balance. Mass balance of what? Of toluene. This is T stand for toluene. So you might ask, should I do also, should I start for toluene? Yes, you choose any composition you want. So it's there. So the formula is still gonna be here, but I'm not gonna repeat. But you guys, you're just gonna put here T, 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 T. But you respect all those things. What is toluene in the phase composition? 0.4. So we're gonna have 0.4 times 1000. Equal to, we check here, do we have toluene? Yes, 0.1, so we're going to have 0.01 and then times P1 plus, we need something again. So we check here is what? Is P2. P2 we have toluene? Yes, is 0.95 P2. So here we have toluene? Yes, is 0.13. So this equation can also be 400 if you times this. 0.01 P1 plus 0.95 P2 plus 0.1 P3. So this 0 doesn't belong there. So now this equation we can call equation 5. So now guys, check, we have now enough information. We can solve this equation. We have this equation 5, we have equation 4, and then we have equation 5, so we can solve. So now let me tell you how you can solve this fast. So you already done math. So now we will solve this equation. Let's just save this. Yeah. So we're gonna solve this equation using the matrix. Check now how this is gonna be. So we're gonna call this matrix to be, okay guys, so now check, we have how many equations? We have 3 equations. Equation 3, equation 4, and equation 5. So you can solve this with the new method, we're gonna call it matrix. So what I'm going to do is what I'm gonna explain you, even you never studied that, I'm gonna explain you and then you guys, it's gonna be easier for you to start solving the question with that. But if you don't want, there is another way also, I can see if we have time, we can solve that. So what you will do, you're gonna call the matrix to become T. I'm Treasure, you can call it your name. So this, the formula is what you put P1, P2, and P3, because they are the unknown you are looking for. And then all the line here is just gonna be about P1. So this is P2. And then here's P3 and P3. So now, let's see how I mean by that. What is P1? You take P1 in the equation 1. What is the coefficient of that one? So is 1. So this is going to be 1. So now, from here, in the equation 4, what is the value of P? Is 0.099. In equation 5 is what? 0.01. So you finish. And then you take the value of P2. So P2 here is what? Is also 1. So you're going to have 1. What is the value P2 there? We are coming here in this equation. P2 is what? 0.95. And then No? Yeah, is this one is 0.05. Yeah, this one. So, and in the 5 equation, P2 is 0.95. So we are talking about P3. What is P3? P3, there is also 1. So here in this equation, we don't have P3, so it's 0. So we put also 0. And then here in this equation is 0.1. So guys, this, you put everything. So please, you have to follow them the way they are following each other. So now what you can do from there is what? You put the plus, negative, plus. If there was another line, you put negative. So now what you can do is what? So you're gonna, this is your line. So to find this, you will do this. You take this positive, and then you take the first number is 1. So you close this, it's like you close this one, and then this. Can you see the value we left? We only left with what? 0.05, 0.95, 0, and 0.1. This is the only value. And then after that, there is a negative. So we put a negative there. And then what we do is what? What we do is what? We put 1 because it's 1. If it was 2, you put the 2. So you're going to close this and that one. So you're going to have 0.99, 0.01. Closing this, they're going to have 0.0.1. So there is positive, you put positive. You take the first number. If it was 3, you put the 3, but this is 1. So we close this and that one. So we have 0.99. And then we have also 0.01. And then here we have 0.05. and 0.95. So now let's see how this stuff is going to be. So from here, you take what? You take like a D, you're gonna take what? Or you're gonna take, you see, you first take like a this number times that one, and this number minus that one. So like what I mean is, so what I mean is what? You're gonna take 0.1, this 0.1 times 0.05 is 0.005 minus, so I take this time that one is this number, so this time that one is 0. So you created a negative between them. So you put this negative, this number times that one, so 0.99 times 0 by 1. So we found like a 0.099. So this number by that one is 0. You created the negative 0. Plus, so we put 1 again. So those, because it's 1, that's why I left them. So you take again this times that one. So 0.99 times by 0.95. So we're going to find 0.9405 minus, you take 0.01 times 0.05. So we find also 0.0005. So you created the negative there between. So now you just add them. 0.005 minus 0 is still that number. So this negative and that one is going to be a negative. So you're going to put negative 0.099. And then this number, this plus that one is going to be a positive plus 0.9405 minus 0.0005. So we're going to find how much? We found 0.846. So the one we found is not the value of P or what? This value we found is the value of what? Of T. So now what left now is what? We have now to find the value of P. This P were given P1 and P2 and P3. Let's now to find that value. So please don't forget this value there. So this value, let me just write here because we're going to need. T is what? 0.846. So let's see how we can solve now. P1. So but this one, you're going to call delta P1. So now delta P1. So you want now to find the value of what? Of P1. So now what you will do is what? Here we put the value in the formula as we put the value of what was P1. So no, now you're going to put the value where they don't have any things, like a constant value. So we check in the first equation, what the constant value was 1000. So 1000, I'm gonna write 10 to power 3. So this is equation 1. We are in equation 2 is what? Is 400, so I can write 400. And then we also here is what? Is 400, I write 400. But here we repeat the same value like we did in the to find t. So what was this value? So from here now, what should we do, guys, is what? P2, what is the value of P2 here? Is 1. What is the value of P2 in this equation? P2 is 0.05. What is the value of P2 in this equation? Is 0.95. So here P3 is 1. P3 here, we don't have a 0, and P3 here is 0.1. We do the same things, but now I'm so glad because now you can see here now we have what? A number which is bigger than 1. So we remember this is positive, negative, positive. So what we can do is what? We're gonna take this number, we put 10 to power 3, and then we open. We say what? We're gonna close this and close that one. So I'm gonna go fast now, guys, because you know now the formula. So closing this and that, so it's taking this time that one, and then this is 0. So I'm gonna have 0.05 times 0.1. So it's gonna give me in terms of power 5 to power minus 3. This one is 0, and then I put there, just gonna close. Negative, this is 1, I put 1, and then I'm gonna close this and that one. So this times that one, I'm only gonna 400 times by 0.1 is 40. So I'm only gonna have 40 because this number is gonna multiply that one is gonna be 0. So positive. This I'm gonna close. So now I'm gonna left with this phone number, which is 400 times 0.95. So it is 386 minus this number again, 400 times 0.05, so is 20. So we have 20. Now let's find this one. So to find that one, you're gonna have 10 to, which is 1000. We'd say times 10 to power negative 3. So we're only gonna left this part with 5, and then this part we're only gonna left with how much, guys? So we're gonna left with minus 40. And then this part you're gonna left with plus what? 3. 20 is gonna out there just 360. So now take 5 minus 40 plus 360. So we left with 325. This is delta P. Now to find P, the one we are looking to the question, P1 now is gonna give us what? To find P is gonna be like a delta P1 divided by T. The T is what? We say that value. So from here now we're gonna have delta P1 is what? Is 325 divided by this. What was that one? So it was 0.846. So if you take this number, you divide by 0.846. So you should find P1 to become 384.2. And the unit is gonna be what? Kilogram per what? Per hour. So we found this one to become that one. So after now finding that, we're gonna find what? Delta P2. So this is the first value we found. So let's find delta P2. Delta P2 is what? This one you're gonna keep P1. What is the value of P1? P1, if you remember in this equation is what? Is only 1. So you're gonna have 1. In this equation is what? 0.99. In this one is what? 0.01. So now here they are P2. So where we're gonna put which value? We're gonna put this value. So now it's gonna be 10 to power 3, 4, 4. But for this one, we repeat the same value, which was 0, 1, 0.1. So it means when we're gonna also, let me just put the delta 3p so that you can go fast. It's gonna be what? We're gonna keep x1. What was the value of x1? Is 1 and what? 0.99, 0.01, which is this. What is for 2? For 2 we know is 1, 0.05, and then 0.5. And then what is the value from here? The value from here we know is gonna now change. Since it's P3, we're gonna put 10 to power 3, 400, and 400. And then guys, remember, if you find the negative answer, it means you are wrong. Huh? After you divide this, you find the wrong answer. You can't find a flow rate, a negative flow rate. So what we can do the same things. So from here, I'm gonna do this. I'll always remember there is positive, if so on. So it's also positive, negative, so on. So from here, we're gonna keep this one, and then we open, we're not gonna use this, and then we're only gonna use this one. So this times that one, so we take 400 times 0.1 only. We're gonna have 40 because this number is 0, so we're just gonna left with what? 40 there. Negative is this negative. Which number is there? It's 1000, so I take that number, I put there. So what I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna use this, of this, I'm only gonna take this times that one. So 0.99 times what? Times 0.1 is gonna give me 0.099. But if you check, we say this we're not gonna use, and this, so this times that one is that one. This number times 0 is 0, so we're just gonna close the bracket. So, and then we say positive, each one. What we're gonna do is, we're not gonna use this, and then this. Now we're gonna take this times that one. So 400 times 0.99. So is 396 minus, so say we're not gonna use this, we take this already there, so that one, so you can check is how many numbers, 2 numbers there, and then this, so the answer is just 4, but if you want, you can take your calculator and multiply there. Yeah, you found 4, and then it's gonna be a negative. So now from here, let's solve. So what is gonna have 40? This number negative 1000 times 0.099 plus 396 minus 4. So you're gonna find the answer 333. Now this is P delta T P. So you have now to find P2. So let me just write here. P2 is what? It's gonna be delta P2 divided by T. So we're gonna have delta 2 is what? We just found 333 divide delta, that one I say is what? 0.846. So divide by 0.846. So we're gonna find something like 393. So we take 1 after comma, so this one is gonna be 60. And then 6 what? 6, the unit is what? Kilogram per hour. But guys, check the good things. You can do this process again, you see? So this is your homework, guys. So I'm not gonna repeat this one. Like you guys go at your own and then solve to find delta P3. But me, the one wanna find out this delta P because you should find the same answer. What I'm gonna use now is what? Since I know already P1, which is this, I also know P2. So to find out P3 is what? I can go to any equation, but I'm gonna use this equation. What is that equation? Is 1000 equal to what? P1, P2 plus P what? P3. What will be P3? P3 is just gonna be 1000 minus P1 minus what? P2. So I'm gonna have 1000 minus P1 is what? Is 384.2, which is that one, minus P2 is 393.6. So you just take your calculator, 1000 minus 384.2 minus 393.6. So you should find the answer to become 222.2, and the unit is what? Is kilogram per watt per hour. So guys, we finish to find the stream. So check, we have P1. It was asking to the question, if I can we can see the question there. So in this equation, we didn't know the value of P1. Now we know the value of P1. What is the value of P1? The value of P1 is 384.2. The unit is kilogram per hour. And then F2 we don't know, but P2 we know P2. What is P2? P2 is 3.6 kilogram per hour. P3, obviously we know P3 as well is 222.2 kilogram per watt per hour. Now guys, check. The question was what? The question was to find the value of F2 and its composition. So F2, how can we find now F2? Now check in the question we already wrote down. It's where we will see how we can find how we can find that value. Let's see how we can find this value. So from here, let's just see from here. Yeah. If you see from here, what is F2? F2 is P2 plus P2 plus P3. So I'm just gonna use another paper. So F2 is a question we're asking now. It's gonna be P2 plus P3. So now what will be now the answer? P2, do we have P2? Yes. What was P2? We're just gonna slope it using this one. So the value of P2 is where? P2 is here. Is 393.6 plus what is P3? P3 we find is 222.2. And then so if you take your calculator, this plus 393.6. So you should be able to find 615.8 kilogram per watt per hour. So now let me do something with you so that you will see how this stuff can show. Let's see if this stuff is right. To see that what you are doing is right, you can check always, guys. Check in this. They say in the question, it's given that the input steam F1 is what? 10,000 kilogram per hour. So let's see if we can find this. What is F in the first steam? Let's see, guys. In this equation from here, in this steam, in unit 1, we can say F1 is what? Is P1 plus F2. Then let's put the value if we're gonna find what is the value of this one. We know already is 1,000 kilogram per hour. So P1 now is what? P1 we say is what? Is 384.2 kilogram per hour plus F2 is 615.2 kilogram per watt per hour. Let's add these two numbers if we still gonna find 1,000. Plus 384.2, so we're gonna find 1,000. So 1,000 kilogram per hour is also this side, 1,000 kilogram per watt per hour. So it means this value is the one that we're asking you to solve. This is your answer for that one. So now, what we just do now, it's quite long, is only to find the value of what? Of F2. So now you guys, they already ask you to find the composition of F2. So I'm not gonna do it because I have to challenge you as well. So I'm just gonna give you some guideline, and then you guys you can be able to solve. So how can you solve it? It's easy, you don't have to cry. So from unit 1, let me just use this from unit, what? Unit 1. Guys, check. If you want, you can also say from unity 2 because we know already F2. So this, the value of F2, we know is how much we say for F2. F2, the value from here is 615.2 kilogram per watt per hour. Now we know everything. So we can find out the component. How can we find that? We said like F1 was what? Was P1 plus what? Plus F2. Now let's, this equation, if you want, someone also, you guys use this and let me know if we're gonna find the same result. So P2 plus P3. So you guys, you're gonna use this. Follow the one I'm gonna solve here, but use this, you're still gonna find the same answer. So now we know already F1. What is F1? It's already 1,000. So now we are looking for the component composition. I'm gonna say composition. So composition, right? So composition of toluene, benzene, and that's X. So what we're gonna do now is what? We, from this formula, it's just gonna be F of benzene in F1 plus F1 equal to X of benzene P1 plus P1 plus X2, B for benzene in F2 plus F2. Now check, guys. This was the balance we are doing is the balance of what? Of benzene, because you see B, it's for benzene. We know the value of benzene. Yes, we know now everything. What is the value of benzene? 0.4, so we have 0.4. What is F1? Is 1,000, so you're gonna have 1,000. What is X XB in the first one for benzene is 0.99 times P1. P1 is what? Is 384.2 plus X2 for benzene. We don't know. This is the unknown we are looking. XB, F2 for benzene, we don't know. Times this F for B. F2, we know already F2 is already 615.8. So we can solve this very easy, right? So what we can do, this number times that one is 400. And then so we're gonna take 0.99 times 384.2. So this is gonna give us 380.358. And then plus 605.8 XB, the one we are looking, F2. Guys, if you find the negative answer, you are wrong because the composition, it can't also be a negative. So you have already 400. So this number is going, this side is going to be negative 380.358 equal to 615.8 XB of F2. So now take that one minus 50. So we're going to have, because this is a big number, so the answer is 19.64 equal to 605.8 XB F2. So solving for XB, so we're just gonna have what? We're gonna have 19.64 to divide by 615.8. So you divide 615.8. So you're gonna find something like a 0.0. So it just depends if you can say 3, but there is a 8, 9, so I can round off to 2. So this is a composition of what? Of benzene in what? In F2. So you find now this value. So now, how to find for toluene? You use the same things. So you guys, you can also now use here. Remember when you use this formula from here, you're gonna see what? You're gonna have X, you don't know for this benzene, but this number you know already is this one, and then you follow the process. So let's solve for benzene, for toluene, and we see we can stop from there. So we know the formula is F1 is what? Is P1 plus F2. So now we know already what is F1. So we're gonna put now this, we are talking about toluene. So you're gonna put for toluene. So what is the X? The formula remains the same. It's just X of T F1 times F1 equal to X toluene P1 times P1 plus X of toluene F2 times F2. So you know already this one, yes, is 0.4. This you know already 1000. X for this one, for toluene, we check, is 0.01. P1 we know already is 384.2 plus X, that one is the unknown. We are looking F2. We know already 615.8 X2 of toluene F2. So this number, if you add them, is 400. So if you take 0.01 times 384.2, it's gonna give 3 point something. And then this number is 3,842. If you go this, okay, let's just repeat, 3,842 plus 615.8 XTF2. So now we're gonna have 400 minus 3.842 equal to 615.8 and XTF2. So from here now, you take 400 minus that answer. So you're gonna find 306.158 equal to 615.8 X of toluene in F2. So X of toluene of F2 is what? Is 396.158 divided by 615.8. So you divide by 615.8. So you're gonna find 0.64 and then 0.64. So there is 3, so we can put 3. But now guys, check. This is another component we're asking for toluene. This is the value for toluene. Now check. Just 1 minute. Yeah, we know already the value of this one. What is the value of benzene? Benzene, this one is already become 0.032. For toluene, we just found now 0.643. But now check, you take first, you calculate this number the way they are. If you take 0.032 plus 0.643, you miss Laka, this is the number you miss. So if you want to find the component of xylene of F2, so you're going to have what? You're going to have 1 minus X of benzene in F2 minus X of what? Of toluene in F2. So we have everything. What is 1? It's 1. For benzene is what? 0.0032 minus what is for toluene? We just found toluene is 0.643. So and then we see what it's gonna give us. We take 1 minus 0.032 minus 0.643. So we're gonna find something like a 0.325. This is the component of what? Of toluene. So here is what? 0.325. So I think now if you can see this paper, we solve everything was been asking. We solve for the value of F, which is this one. Is composition, their composition is 0.3, 0.1, and 0.1. And if you add any total composition is 1. If you add here is 1, 1, 1, 1. So these things was well proved. So I believe you guys, you understand. If you have any question, you are more than welcome to ask, and then we'll move from there. We're gonna stop from today. We're gonna stop from here because